Have you ever wondered why so many people have money and status, yet still don't feel happy? If I told you that true happiness isn't found in external things but deep within your own mind, would you believe it? And if there was an ancient philosophy that could help you achieve lasting happiness beyond all material possessions, would you want to discover it right now? Welcome to Wisdom Daily. In today's video, we will explore 10 Stoic secrets on how to be happy, timeless insights from the philosopher Seneca, designed to help you find genuine happiness and lead a more meaningful life. Let's dive right in. Secret 1. Living as the best version of yourself. Arete. Happiness isn't a destination, it's about how you live every single moment. According to Seneca, each moment provides you with an opportunity to live as the very best version of yourself, a concept he called arete. Imagine that inside you there are two versions, the you of today and the you at your highest potential, the person you could become if you truly lived with virtue, discipline, and purpose. Every day, you are either moving closer to this best version or drifting further away from it. Seneca believed that arete isn't about perfection, but rather about continuously striving to live according to your own values. When you narrow the gap between what you know you should do and what you actually do, you are living with arete, and that is the foundation of lasting happiness. Here's a simple example. Perhaps you know you should exercise, but every morning you keep hitting that snooze button. The moment you overcome that procrastination, get up early, and take action, you are living with arete. This small victory makes you feel right, authentic, and truly alive. Arete means actively choosing between what's easy and what's right. It means saying no to immediate comfort so you can say yes to something much greater. You don't have to become a perfect person, just strive each day to live closer to your highest potential. Seneca once said, "A good character is the only guarantee of everlasting carefree happiness. Not money, not fame, only your character. And when you live true to that character, confidence, peace, and happiness come as naturally as breathing." Secret 2. Accepting things you cannot change. What makes us suffer the most? It isn't what actually happens, but how we respond to it. Seneca famously said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Think about it. How many times have you lost sleep worrying, will I get that job? Does this person like me? Or will something terrible happen? But ultimately, things rarely turn out as badly as you imagine. That's the trap of our own mind. Stoicism teaches us something very simple yet profound. Focus only on what you can control and let go of the rest. You can't control the weather, what other people say, or the past that has already gone by. But you absolutely can control your reactions, thoughts, and actions in response to those circumstances. And this is precisely what determines whether you'll find happiness or not. Seneca compared worrying to throwing your favorite doll onto the street and hoping no cars run over it, a funny yet powerful metaphor. Too often, we throw ourselves into anxieties about others or about the future, then sit helplessly, hoping everything will somehow be okay. Instead, you should take that doll, your own mind, back into your hands. Put it where you actually have control. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It's about having the clarity to stop wasting emotional energy on things beyond your control. It's true inner freedom and the gateway to a calm, peaceful life. If you're now wondering, can I really develop this inner peace? The answer is yes, and we'll explore exactly how in the next secret. Secret 3. Proactively control your reactions. In life, there exists a tiny yet immensely powerful moment between two things, stimulus and response. Seneca believed that this small gap is where true freedom resides. Imagine you're driving home after a long, exhausting day. Suddenly, someone cuts you off and shouts angrily at you. Your first instinct? Get angry. Shout back. Feel insulted. But pause right at that exact moment. Instead of reacting instantly like a spring being released, you have the power to choose how you respond. Seneca taught that we cannot control others, but we can always control how we respond. And that is the greatest freedom a person can possess. When you respond consciously and calmly, you master yourself. On the other hand, if you allow your emotions to dictate your actions, you become their slave. Here's an example. You've just applied for your dream job, but haven't heard back. Your mind immediately begins creating dozens of scenarios. I'm not good enough. I've failed. They don't need me. These reactions come automatically from judgment, not conscious awareness. If you change your reaction, the entire narrative transforms. You could instead think, they haven't responded yet. I'll keep improving myself and seek other opportunities. And just like that, you maintain inner peace. Seneca called this inner sovereignty a form of power that no one can ever take away from you. Secret 4. Eliminate anger. If there's one emotion that quickly destroys inner peace and happiness, it's anger. And Seneca did not mince words when speaking about it. Anger is a temporary madness. Have you ever regretted your actions after becoming angry? Maybe with your partner, your children, or even yourself. Seneca understood this deeply. He argued that anger is never rational even when it seems justified. Why? Because anger blinds your judgment, causes you to make poor decisions, and makes you say things you can never take back. In the end, you're the one left dealing with the consequences. Here's a real-life example. At a company in New York, a manager once harshly yelled at a young employee over a minor mistake. That single outburst drove the employee to resign. Months later, the young employee joined a competitor, taking along $1 million contract, all because of a moment of uncontrolled anger. Seneca doesn't simply advise you to control your anger. He goes even further. Eliminate it at its root. How can you achieve this? Learn to recognize the early signs. When you notice your heart beating faster, your words getting sharper, your gaze hardening, that's your cue to stop. Pause. Breathe. Not just to hold back, but to redirect yourself entirely. Ask yourself a simple question. Is getting angry right now helpful? The answer will almost always be no. Once you develop this reflex, you'll avoid painful consequences and maintain clarity, credibility, and genuine strength as someone truly in control of yourself. When you master your reactions and extinguish anger, you remove two major roadblocks on your journey toward happiness. But there's another crucial factor, knowing exactly where you're headed in life. That's the next principle Seneca wants us to explore. Secret 5. Clearly define your purpose in life. Do you know what makes so many people feel lost, even when they have steady jobs, families, and seemingly fulfilled lives? It's the lack of a clear purpose. Seneca believed that living without a goal is like setting sail without knowing your destination. No wind can ever guide your ship correctly if you don't even know which direction is correct. Each of us is born with the power to choose our way of living, our goals, and our values. But if you don't proactively define what's genuinely important to you, society will inevitably decide it for you. Seneca advised, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." Think about someone in their early 30s with a stable career and good income, yet every morning they wake up feeling as though they're living someone else's life. Sadly, this is not uncommon. And there's nothing more frightening than achieving success in something you never actually wanted. So, what's the solution? Pause. Ask yourself these 3 simple questions. 1. Who am I? 2. What do I truly want? 3. What small steps can I take each day to move closer to that goal? Defining your purpose doesn't necessarily mean something monumental like changing the entire world. Sometimes, it's simply about living more kindly, spending more quality time with loved ones, or learning to love yourself the right way. What truly matters is knowing where you're going. Then, every action you take each day becomes a meaningful step in the right direction. With a clear goal, challenges are no longer obstacles. They become worthy tests of your commitment. And every morning, you'll experience something magical, the feeling that your life truly has meaning. Secret 6. Live authentically instead of following the crowd. In a world where everyone shares their meals, vacations, and achievements on social media, it's easy to feel pressured into thinking that you have to be like them in order to fit in. But Seneca thought differently. He warned, "You cannot entrust yourself to the crowd without risk." What's the risk here? It's losing your authentic self. You start living according to standards that aren't truly yours. Having to own a house by the age of 30. Marrying someone who fits society's perfect image. Achieving success like everyone else. The problem is, the harder you try to be normal, the further you drift from who you genuinely are. And nothing leads to unhappiness faster than living a life you don't genuinely believe in. Seneca wasn't suggesting you rebel against society. He was simply reminding you not to trade your uniqueness for acceptance from the crowd. You don't have to be a copy of anyone else. You might be an introverted writer, a dedicated full-time mom, or an undiscovered artistas, long as you live true to what genuinely moves your heart. For example, many great artists, entrepreneurs, and even politicians were initially mocked for being different. Steve Jobs was once called crazy for wanting to put a computer in everyone's hands. But that very difference changed the world. Living authentically is a courageous journey. At first, it might make you feel isolated, but eventually, you'll recognize something incredible. Your uniqueness is your most valuable gift. When you clearly define your purpose and dare to live authentically, you're not only moving in the right direction, you're walking that path on your own terms. Soon you'll discover something amazing. Happiness isn't far away at all. Secret 7. Use money wisely. We live in a world where money can buy almost anything from comfort and experiences to attention itself. But Seneca reminds us, wealth is the slave of a wise man, the master of a fool. Money itself isn't bad. In fact, it's a powerful tool. It provides shelter, food, education, and opportunities. The real problem arises when we allow money to control how we live, think, and feel. Seneca believed that genuine happiness cannot depend on anything outside your own mind. If your joy comes from buying something new, your sadness will inevitably follow when that item becomes old, broken, or lost. Happiness becomes hostage to external circumstances. Have you ever met someone always caught up in the endless race of life, buying luxury cars just to keep up with friends, upgrading phones every year to avoid feeling left behind? Ironically, the more they have, the more they seem to lack. Seneca's advice is clear. Make money serve you, not the other way around. Use it to fulfill essential needs, create meaningful experiences, help others, and invest in personal growth. But never let it become a measure of your self-worth. A Princeton University study discovered something important. Money increases happiness, but only up to a certain point, around 90 per year. Beyond that threshold, happiness doesn't increase proportionally and can even decrease under the weight of greater expectations and pressures. In other words, happiness isn't directly proportional to your bank balance. Ultimately, what truly matters isn't how much money you have, but how wisely you live with the money you possess. Secret 8. Appreciate and fully embrace the present moment. You're alive right now, but where exactly is your mind? Many people live trapped in the past, dwelling on regrets, mistakes, and missed opportunities. Others are stuck in the future, anxious about things yet to come, from work and health to relationships. Sadly, very few people truly live in the present. Seneca saw this clearly thousands of years ago. He wrote, "Every day as it comes should be welcomed and reduced forthwith into our own possession, as if it were the finest day imaginable. Welcome each day as a precious gift, because in reality, it's all you truly have." You can't go back and change the past, nor can you fully control the future, but you can absolutely master the present. Here's a simple example. You woke up this morning, sunlight pouring through your window. You're alive, breathing fresh air, you have a body capable of movement, and a brand new day ahead to create something meaningful. Yet, instead of appreciating this moment, many people immediately dive into their phones, worried about unread emails or upcoming meetings. Seneca teaches that happiness doesn't lie in future peaks, but rather in these seemingly ordinary moments of today. Practice taking a few moments each day to pause. Notice your breathing, feel the air around you. Find gratitude in something simple. Because when you become fully present, you are no longer pulled away by anxiety or regret. You're living truly and fully living. Own money, time, and attention. These are your most precious resources. Master them, and you'll unlock something amazing, a profoundly happy and fulfilling life. Secret 9. Give sincerely and generously. In today's world, we often hear the advice, if you want to have something, you must hold on to it tightly. Seneca, however, believed exactly the opposite. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. Kindness isn't just a gift you give to others, it's also a gift you give to yourself. Every time you offer encouragement, lend a helping hand, or give even a small present, you reconnect deeply with your own humanity. Think back to the last time you gave someone a birthday gift, not because you felt obligated, but because you genuinely wanted to see them smile. That warm feeling you experienced, the joy of seeing someone happy because of you, is pure, unconditional, and lasting happiness. Seneca emphasized, give without expecting anything in return. No expectations of thanks, no need for recognition, no waiting for repayment. When expectations creep in, kindness becomes transactional rather than a genuine gift. And if you find yourself too busy to help others, remember, asking someone how they're doing costs nothing. A small act of kindness doesn't require hours. A compassionate look can brighten someone's entire day. If you're short on financial resources, offer your time, attention, or even your knowledge and skills. Everything is valuable when given from a sincere heart. When you do good without expectation, you're planting seeds of happiness within yourself, and eventually they'll bloom naturally. Secret 10. Keep your soul youthful. Have you ever met someone over 60 who still radiates energy, whose eyes sparkle, whose smile is as bright as a child's? It's not just their physical health, it's the youthfulness of their spirit. Seneca believed that old age isn't defined by the number of years lived, but rather by how you live those years. Hang on to your youthful enthusiasms, you'll be able to use them better when you're older. Keeping your soul young means maintaining curiosity, eagerness to learn, and joy in living. How can you achieve this? Keep your mind flexible. Read books, keep a journal, or learn a new skill. Even simple activities like crossword puzzles or learning a new app keep your brain fresh every day. Keep your body active. You don't need to run marathons. A daily 15-minute walk, gentle yoga, or simply stretching regularly throughout the day will keep your body and, consequently, your mind in good shape. Stay socially connected. Spend time with people who make you laugh. Join a book club, go on picnics with old friends, or simply call family members you haven't spoken to in a while. Laughter and connection are the best anti-aging medicines, and they're completely free. Consider this. A landmark Harvard study spanning over 80 years discovered the greatest key to longevity and happiness isn't money or status, but the quality of relationships. The people who lived the longest weren't necessarily the healthiest physically, but those who had the strongest connections. Therefore, keeping your soul youthful isn't about denying your age, it's about living with a heart full of enthusiasm, curiosity, and gratitude. 80. When you live with gratitude, give without expectation, and keep your mind and heart wide open, you don't just live, you thrive. We've just explored 10 Stoic secrets on how to be happy, profound wisdom that the philosopher Seneca left behind, not to theorize life, but to help us genuinely live with depth, clarity, and lasting joy. From striving to live as the best version of yourself, accepting what you cannot change, and letting go of anger to knowing your true purpose and daring to be different, each principle is a powerful reminder that happiness isn't found externally, but rather begins within. You don't need to wait until you're perfect. You don't need more money, more status, or more recognition. You just need to begin starting with yourself, today. Happiness is not a reward. It's the way you walk your journey every day. Now, it's your turn to share. Of Seneca's 10 principles, which one resonated with you the most? Are you already living by one of these principles, or which one will you start applying right now? Share your thoughts in the comments below, not only to connect, but perhaps also to inspire someone else. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Wisdom Daily, where we explore timeless lessons from ancient philosophy for our modern lives. See you in the next video, where each time you watch isn't just entertainment, it's a step toward living a happier, deeper life.